Well, I did promise you that later on in the show we'll be talking to a very determined man who has walked right from Denmark, and he's currently in Accra with us, and he's going to share with us why he went on this journey and what inspired him and what he aspires to attain with this walk. And I'm joined in studio by Charlie Christensen. Good morning.
Good morning.
So how or what started your walk to, all the countries you've been to so far, right from Denmark up till now?
Well, the journey kind of started where it ends, in Tanzania.
Okay.
I was living in a village in Tanzania back in 2013, where I was staying in a Maasai community in the province.
Right.
I was there to start an orphanage. While I was there, I experienced with my own eyes how the people were suffering from lack of clean water. Actually, they had to walk 19 kilometers to nearest source of clean water. So many people, they take dirty water instead, and they get sick from that. So I decided that I wanted to try to help these people, and I went home and I found out how much it will cost to make a system, and it turned out to be more money than I just had in the pocket, so I had to come up with a way of raising the money. And then this concept of walking for water came to my mind. Basically, the idea is that I walk from Denmark to Tanzania through 30 countries, more than 18,000 kilometers in total. And this creates media attention. And then I use this media attention to reach out to companies and tell them that if you as a company would like to sponsor this water system, then I will advertise for you all that I can. And I have a lot of social media followers, and I also get in conventional media, so it's a good way to get your name out as a company.
Right.
That's the concept.
So for you, as you're walking, when you receive these fans, you plan to make a system for Tanzania to get water, accessible water. And then what next? Well,
initially, Tanzania was the only goal to make a system in Tanzania. But I have begun also to try to make minor water projects in the countries I'm crossing. I started doing that in Sierra Leone and have done it since. So we have managed to find sponsors for a water system in Sierra Leone and one in Liberia. And I have made a project in Côte d'Ivoire that we still don't have a sponsor for, and I will also go up country here in Ghana to find a community in lack of clean water and make a project there.
Right. Charlie, so when did this walk start? How many kilometers have you traveled, and how many countries have you been in since you started the walk?
I started on my 27th birthday, the 18th of May 2015. So that's 2 years and 7 months now that I've been living on the road. In all this time, I have never paid to sleep. I'm basically a bushman, as you will call it here. Most of the time I sleep in the bush when the sun goes down. Sometimes I stay with local families as well. I have walked roughly 11,500 kilometers until now, and Ghana is my 17th country out of 30.
Nice. But, is this something you've done before? Because obviously you say you live in the bush. If you hadn't practiced it, or if you hadn't lived that kind of life, it certainly must be challenging.
Well, I had some experiences. I was a soldier originally in the Danish army. And then I had some preparation trips, I went to Texas to walk with a Swedish guy to get into the rhythm of how someone lives like this after several months. Because one thing is just to take a weekend training tour in Denmark, but you learn more by following someone who has done it for some time, so that was a good preparation. And I also went to Scotland to get some mountain training.
Right. And so with you, as you take this journey, has there been any challenging point where you thought, maybe it's not worth it, let me just quit?
No, I never, when I'm very determined on this. This is something that I made my life mission, and it's a promise I gave to the people of Tanzania that I will do whatever is in my power to bring them the water. So for me, this is victory or death, you can say. I'm never at a point where I feel like going home, but of course some days are easier than others. Especially the past half year has been quite challenging. The rainy season in Sierra Leone and Liberia, I had malaria 6 times. And the mud, you can see in the video, I have this push. Sometimes it's quite hard to get through the mud and to find suitable places to camp in the bush because the vegetation is growing so intense in the rainy season, so it can be hard to get in and find a place where you cannot be seen from the road.
So let's talk about funding. When it comes to funding your project, is it self-supported or you've got sponsors out there helping you as of now?
Well, my own expenses are self-supported. I don't accept money for myself.
Okay.
And I don't accept people to give me money in the hand for the project either, because I don't want any misunderstandings.
Okay.
So the only way you can support the project as a private person is to go to the website, and then you can donate directly to the organization's bank account. We made an organization called Walking for Water, and I cannot withdraw money from this account without signatures from the whole leaderboard. So those money donated are 100% and uncut for the water systems. There are no salaries or stuff like that. I pay my own visa, I pay my own food. And yeah.
You must be a rich man. But anyway,
Whoa.
let's go back.
Ask my bank about that. I'm owing them a lot of money by now.
Right. And so you have bills to pay at the end of everything.
I don't have anything at home to pay for. I mean, I quit my apartment. I quit everything, and I make some small money writing articles. Okay. And I'm starting a clothes brand as well that will hopefully at some point start giving some money. But I'm living on a very tight budget.
Very well. So let's get personal. How does your family feel about this?
Well, I think they have been very supportive, I must say. My mother, she is of course very worried, especially in this period where I have been very sick. Right. And also, I think they are very worried for when I go deeper into the heart of Africa. Democratic Republic Congo in particular, and also Nigeria. I know that they would wish I will try to avoid those places, but they have been supportive. They know this is my dream. They know this makes me happy, and they can see that they can see the results. I mean, they also have people approaching them saying, "You must be so proud" and stuff. And I mean, I think that is kind of nice for them. But of course, they are worried. Every parent would be, I think. Yeah.
So in the 2 years, 7 months, you haven't really celebrated your birthday or Christmas, have you?
Yeah, I mean, actually this day, my birthday where I started, I made kind of a mark day. Okay. So it was on this 1 year day of when I started and my birthday that I also crossed the Gibraltar Strait to Africa. And I decided on this day also to become a vegetarian. Okay. So it's a special day for me. There's a lot of things to celebrate on this day for me.
Well, now that you've mentioned it, do you think being vegetarian has helped in your expenses during this course?
Well, it's definitely not making life easier in Africa, because many people don't understand the concept. Right. And it can be hard to find food in small cookhouses where there is no meat in, but I mainly cook my own food. I have a little gas stove. I think being vegetarian have helped me in a spiritual way. Okay. I spend a lot of time in the nature, obviously. I sleep in the nature most nights, and I feel somehow more connected to the nature, to the animals. Right. I used to say, partly in fun, that I have an agreement with the animals. I don't eat them and they don't eat me.
Very well, but in the few years you've been in the bush, have you had any encounters, scary ones of that?
Not with animals. Okay. I had 2 incidents where people were sneaking in on me in the night. I'm sleeping in a hammock. Luckily, both times I woke up. Okay. And then I approached them, and both times they got scared when they saw me. I don't think they had actually realized there was a human. They just seen my box, shiny box, and what is this, you know? And then I say, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the first guy, he had a machete, and he started fencing like, And then he just yelled, "In the name of Christ, in the name of Christ," and then he ran away. So he probably thought I was a devil or something. And the next guy actually shouted, "Demon, demon," and then he also ran away. Oh. But of course, it's something that gives you a shock, and it makes you think, wow, I should probably be more careful. But that's the only really close call I had.
Right. But you fly?
No, I walk.
All the time?
All the time. I have, for example, crossing the Gibraltar Strait from Europe to Africa, I have to sail because I cannot walk on the water. And there is also a few other lakes that I had to cross by a canoe or whatever, you know. But where there is land, I walk. No transportation. I can take transportation when I'm stationary somewhere. Like, for example, if I'm in a capital, I'm usually staying for a couple of months to do administrative work. And then I will take transportation around. But I continue walking from exactly the same place as I stopped.
But how has immigration been with you?
Mostly good. I haven't had major problems. I think it helps also to have a philanthropic project. Because most people sympathize with that, and they don't feel like making trouble for me. And I don't think it's a secret that here in Africa, most of the trouble you run into with authorities is because they want to fill their own pockets. And I have my papers in order, I have my visa, I have my stuff, so they cannot really do anything but waste my time, and I have plenty of time. So
what word do you have out there for people who similarly will want to join a similar cause and also do something good?
Well, actually I'm glad you asked that, because Walking for Water is supposed to be a platform where other people can do the same thing. For me, I had to start from scratch, making website, getting followers, making a name of it, making the rules, the organization. But for the next guy who wants to do something similar, everybody is very welcome to join. Not my particular journey. I don't wish people to walk with me for longer distances. But I will be glad to help someone arrange their own walk from some place to some place. But there is some guidelines in the organization that you have to follow. It has to be about raising money for water systems. But where you want to do it and where you want to walk from and to, it's up to you. You have to do the hard work yourself and plan most of it yourself. And then, yeah, I can help spreading the word.
Very well. So, Charlie, when does this walk end for you?
When I'm in goal. Originally, I thought it will take 2.5 years in total, from a calculation that I would walk 30 kilometers a day, 6 days a week. 30 kilometers a day in average is fitting quite well. That's about what I walk. But I'm spending a lot more time in capitals usually than I had expected, because I need to earn money for my own living, and I also need to visit communities and to get in touch with the media, and sometimes I meet a nice girl, and you know, I also have a life.
You certainly do.
So,
have you met any nice Ghanaian girl?
Yeah, of course.
Very well, guys. So I have been talking to Charlie Christensen. He's from Denmark and he's walking for water. Certainly, I'm sure this is a change all of us want to see across West Africa, Africa and beyond. And so it's a good cause. You can join him on social media. As he said, you certainly will find him. And you don't have to start afresh. If you do want to join in something like this, certainly get in touch with him and definitely he would help you. Anyway, we have more for you here on New Day. See you soon.